Hi guys, I'm back, and today we are going to do a geode inspired Christmas tree. I have already painted the background because you want the paint to set at least overnight if you're just using basic paints, so that they're nice and dry before you put the resin on. So let's go through the list of materials we're using. Artist Loft metallic phthalo green. This is just what I've painted the tree with. Sap green from Artist Loft, green yellow from Artist Loft, and then the stump is burnt umber mixed with a hint of green. And I just put those on a palette, dipped my brush in them, and just sort of did this. Just so in case you can see through the colors, it will be a tree color background instead of the wood background. And then for the edges, because I like my geodes to have either the silver leaf or the gold leaf, because you want it to look different than the geode itself. I am using the Craft Smart Premium Gilding Paint in Classic Gold. And this stuff, when you use it, you want to shake it up really good. Wear a respirator mask. It smells terrible. Probably really not good for your brain cells. And use a kid's paintbrush from one of those, their little watercolor paint sets or whatever, with the synthetic bristles. And to wash it out, you just need a little cup like this with a little bit of alcohol in it, and just swish it around in there. The alcohol will pull a lot of that gold gilding off of the brush, and then take like an alcohol swipe and just kind of swipe off the bristles when you're done, and it cleans it really well. We're going to use some Mystic Moss Metallic from Stone Coat Countertops. The resin, obviously, we're using is going to be Stone Coat Countertop Art Coat Resin, because I love it, and it works fantastic, and it leaves a beautiful crystal clear finish that does not yellow. It has a UV protectant in it, so that when your paintings and geodes and whatever else you're covering in resin are exposed to the sunlight, it's not going to deteriorate the color of your paint. It also is heat resistant up to, I want to say, 475 degrees, so you can take something right out of the oven, and if you're making a trivet, you can put it right down on there and it should be safe. And so it's great for like your coffee cup coasters and stuff like that. So you guys, go buy some of this. If you use my code, my promo code, which is HWA, you get $30 off of a $80 order. So who does not want to save $30 when they're buying resin? So yeah, so go buy some of this. It's really awesome stuff. We're also going to use what I have done with these cute little glass ball Christmas ornaments. I have taken them and crushed them up. So we've got dark blue and light blue mixed here. And I like these because they, you've got the silver in there as well, because the inside of them is silver. So you've kind of, I don't know, I thought it was pretty. So I've got the red and the pink mixed here, and then we've got the green and the lighter green, the limey green mixed here. Then we've got some gold mica flakes and some red holographic glitter. And this is not the round glitter. This is like tiny, tiny slivers of like rectangular glitter. And then gold holographic glitter. You can see how pretty that is. Also in the rectangular shape. And then we've got these beautiful little glass pebbles that have been tumbled, so they're not sharp at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set down my glass pebbles in sort of the pattern that I'm hoping for. And that'll be sort of like the outlines for the other colors. And I really, honestly, haven't even decided yet if I want to mix all the stuff in the resin first, or just put the resin down and put it in there. With these glass pieces, I really want them to be covered in resin, because they are super, super sharp. And it's not like this is going to be handled a whole lot, but you want it to be a safe work of art. So I may eventually, after we see how this dries, I may have to pour another coat of resin over it if there's anything sticking out. So the first little set, I'm going to use the green pebbles. I'm going to put them in the pattern that I want first, and then I'm going to take the clear resin and pour over the pebbles, and hopefully they'll stay in place, and then that'll sort of be like the framework for the rest of it. And I'm just going to push everything up to the edge. I really don't want the stuff going over the edge, just because of my pretty gold gilding, but I have a feeling the resin, especially with the glitter, is going to end up going over the edge. But, oh well. You know, really, who cares? It's a work of art. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I want to say, I usually don't get up on my soapbox up here, but since we have a few minutes here, I want to say, you know, 99.9% of y'all are the most amazing supporters of my work. You're wonderful. You love the kids in the background. You always compliment me on my babies. But, you know, once you start getting more and more people subscribing to your channel, you realize that not everyone in the world is a very nice person, unfortunately. And lately I had a couple of comments that actually, normally I would never let anyone's, you know, not nice comment bother me, but this one really did. I had to ban her from my channel. I had to block her because she was really saying some mean things. She apparently does not like listening to my kids in the background, and she decided she had to tell me about it in a very not nice way. So, see you later. Initials KQ, because you're not a nice person, but I wish you all the best, and I hope that, you know, you realize that you're not being very nice. So, you know, that's just to say, if you guys don't enjoy watching my channel, you don't enjoy listening to the kids in the background, don't watch the channel. I won't be offended if you don't care for it. Not everybody wants to listen to somebody's kids in the background. My kids like being part of the videos, so they will continue to be part of the videos. So if you guys don't like it, those of you who don't care for it, go away. You know, I appreciate all my subscribers and all my viewers, but, you know, if you don't want to be nice, see you later, bye. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say about that. I don't want to go on and on and on and on. Okay, so you guys are not sitting here watching me do this all afternoon long. I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to put the stones down and mix up my resin, and then I'll be back. Okay, so you can see I have the little pebbles, the little glass pebbles down. I've mixed everything with resin. Excuse me. So now I'm going to try and pour some resin over these little beads, and hopefully they will not go anywhere. I think I'll use a small stick. And as you can see, there's some air bubbles in there, but other than that, it's really super clear resin. I really just want to get these to where they're going to stay in place. I don't want to spread resin everywhere because I will be going along with the glass and the glitter and everything else. So, whoops. I don't want to knock any of these little pieces out of their little pattern there. And over goes the resin. Over the side, but that's okay. I realized that that was going to happen, so it's not that big of a deal. Just want to make sure that all the little glass pieces are set in resin so they don't go anywhere. Now, I don't know if I really should have poured the resin into the glass because, and the glitter for that matter. I think I probably have a little too much glitter and it's really thick and it won't drizzle. But I don't want to keep adding resin to it just so it'll drizzle, because then I'm just wasting a bunch of resin. And I don't want to do that. And like I tell you guys, always have another piece ready. You know, so if you need to, you know, always have another canvas ready if you're painting, if you're pouring with resin, always have something that you can use the leftover resin with if you get done quick enough with it. So you're not wasting this, you know, because resin is not cheap and you don't want to waste it. So I have a tile sitting over there that's been needing to have resin poured on it for, I don't know, months and months and months, probably at least 6 months, probably longer. But when you have new projects to do, new projects you want to do, it's hard to get to the old stuff. Okay, so there's that. Next is going to be, let's do some glass crushed up ornaments. And I really don't know how well this is going to work, but we're going to try. More than that. A little bit of time, you got to keep stirring it because the glass falls to the bottom of the resin. This is going to be a slow process. I just want the glass to go to the edge. I really don't want it going over the edge, but you know, if it falls over the edge, no big deal. Well, that's a big piece right there. I really don't. Well, let's see if we can pick it up with little. Well, maybe not. That's okay. Just don't want it to mix in with the green. Toothpicks, always have toothpicks when you're working with resin because they're great for picking out stuff like dust. They're great for shoving your stuff around without picking up a bunch of it. Great little tools. Just trying to make a little bit of space right there so we can put at least one more little color in there. Let it be colorful. That's for sure. And probably for the back, I'll just put a piece of felt over it. Just staple like maybe some kind of hanging device. So it can just hang on the wall. It's more like a wall decoration, I think, than anything else. Oh, that was too big of a lump. That's okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. Well, come on, go back. There we go. And hopefully all this glass will be covered nicely with the resin and it won't be sharp. Because I really don't want to have to go back over this with another coating of resin. Alright, there's the pink. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Let's do some maybe gold glitter in maybe 2 of these areas. Sorry if my head is getting in the way. can't really tell if it is or not. So let's do that right there, and then we'll do some along this way. There we go. And maybe some of this green, I don't know if it's going to sink or not, but we're going to put it in there anyway. Sorry about that, guys. My phone died, so I had to rig something up so I could plug it into the wall, and everything is starting to spread, so I need to get this done quickly. And that took about 10 minutes, so, you know, well, we don't want the resin to completely set before we get it all on there, so I'm not sure how geode-ish this is going to really look, but like I said, it's not supposed to be geode, it's just geode inspired. So, let's see if we can shove some of that back. That resin is really spreading because I've got a lot on there. Yeah, it'd be pretty. It'd be very Christmassy colored. Well, we'll just put this up and get it out when it's Christmas time. I think we're going to go ahead and put down some of this mica flake down here. Just in case we run out of time and my resin starts setting and don't have time to you know, get this on there. We want to get that on there. I really don't want it hanging over the side, so there we go. Okay, I really kind of like it. I like that. I might put a little bit in in here as well, since we have some, and I really don't know what else I would do with it. Kind of dazzle it around the green pebbles there. Nice thing about resin is when you push it, you know, when it starts falling where you don't want it, you just kind of shove it back. There we go. Look, I need a little bit more up here. An empty spot. Don't want an empty spot. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the chocolate pours. I have to say I will not be doing any more of those, most likely. I don't know. I don't know how I'll feel about it at Easter time, but I tell you what, that chocolate, you're not going to believe me, but I'm telling you, it was a bigger mess than the resin is. I don't know why, but gosh, it was a mess. And just trying to get it to melt just the right way so it's like paint consistency, that was fun as well, let me tell you. So most likely no more chocolate pours, but it was a fun experiment, and I haven't seen anybody else pour with chocolate, so that was cool. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's do... Really, I don't know if I'm even going to need the green in there, but we should put the green in there. We'll put it around one of them, maybe the big one. just up to there. A little bit right there. I don't know how this is going to look when it dries. But I'm not sure if I finished what I was saying before my phone died. But I'm just going to put some felt on the back of this, probably staple a little string to it, and that'll be it. Just so it can hang on the wall next to the Christmas tree, maybe. I don't know, or in the hall somewhere. Somewhere pretty. There we go. I think that's, well, let's do a little more. I think I still have room for it. In there, there we go. Carry on the theme all the way through. I think a little, oops, I dropped some on the mica. No, I don't want that. Oh well. That is okay. Okay, we're going to leave that. But I think it's going to drip off the sides because I've got too much there. Okay, that's enough of the green. Let's do some red glitter through there, just so we have some red glitter somewhere. And maybe through here. Oh, chill out, Thor. Not sure what he's very quietly growling about, but I need that down back there. There we go. Toothpick time. Your fingers rarely work because, oh gosh, I'm sorry. I'm putting my head in there. Your fingers rarely work because everything just sticks to them. Ah, all that green is like flowing through the blue stuff right there. I don't like that. I don't know if I like that red. Wow, this is just sort of turning into a big mess. Let's do this. I feel like it needs to come around, even if it's sitting on top of something else. There we go. Okay, that's a little better. Let's bring this around. I don't know what they're doing in there. Monsters, I guess. Okay. Let's maybe a little more blue down here. Oh, I need to get this resin down. I'll just put the rest of the blue down here. All right. So, camera cut off again. Not having much luck with the camera today. The phone, it keeps dying on me. First time it died because the battery ran out, and the second time it died because I ran out of space on the phone. So I just went ahead and finished up just the last little bit. There wasn't much left to put on there. Just filling some of the empty spots through there. So it's dried now. This is day 3 or 4, something like that. There's all these drips on the bottom. I'll go back and cut those all off because I'm going to put a piece like a felt on the back, so it won't really matter about the drips, other than they're a pain to kind of get off of there, but that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a second layer of resin over this, just because there were some of the pieces of the glass ornament that were sticking up and were really sharp. So I took a little popsicle stick and I kind of mashed them down after the resin had cured for about 18 hours. So it didn't put any damage to the resin. It just kind of mashed some of the sharp pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and pour one more layer of resin over this, and hopefully it will sort of get rid of the sharper edges. And I want to have enough left over for a tile sitting over there. I had some leftovers, and Ella has been begging me for a while now to let her play with the resin, to let her create her own resin art. And I've been hesitant because, you know, it's resin, and I'm really not real thrilled about her playing with resin. But I'm just going to kind of shove this around because I can't really see where it's landing, and I want to make sure everything gets covered again. So, you know, resin, it makes a huge, huge, huge mess. And I didn't want it getting all over her, but I thought, well, why not? Let's let her play with the leftovers. Now, at that point, I only had probably maybe another 5 minutes of work time on it. So I said, all right, you got to hurry up and do this really quick because it's going to cure to the point where you can't do anything with it anymore. So she's trying to get her little tile done really fast, and she made the comment that it was sad that she couldn't enjoy her first resin artwork because she had to rush through it because of the cure time. So I felt kind of bad. So I'm sure she'll be doing another resin piece before too long. But she did really well with it. She did not get any on her clothes. She did not get any anywhere else really. So definitely going to have to let her play in the resin again. Just have to make sure, you know, that you use proper precautions when you're letting the kids work with all of this stuff, especially because it had glass in it. She had to be super careful, and you know, I was right there with her, making sure she was doing everything correctly, and you know, being super careful with the glass and super careful with the resin. So, you know, you're supposed to let your kids experiment too, because it's good for them. They grow when they experiment, just like we grow when we experiment. You know, you take the proper precautions, just like you would with yourself, except even more so because they're your babies. So, you know, you make sure there's a respirator mask involved. You make sure they've got lots of gloves on. You make sure they understand how everything works before you let them play with it. All right, I think that's about it. I think I've pretty much just trying to make sure the edges are covered because before I was trying to keep the resin from going over. Of course, you can see where some areas where the red glitter just did not want to stay. So it went over a little bit. But now I just want the edges just barely covered, just so it's uniform. And that's going to be it for that. And now we're going to take her little tile real quick and cover it, and then I'll take the torch. And this is her tile. This is Ella's tile. She just took whatever was left and had fun with it. So, super proud of her. She's quite the little artist. Her and Nora both. I'm just being really careful smoothing this around because, like I said, I kind of mashed down any of the sharp edges, but you never know with this glass. So. And I actually made just enough resin to cover both pieces, which I never managed to do. I always end up with leftovers. And I did have some little pieces on the side here in case I had leftovers. So like I always tell you guys, always be prepared to have leftovers. Always have something waiting on the sidelines in case you you know, have leftover resin, because gosh, you don't want to, you do not want to waste this stuff. It's too precious. Alright, just gonna kind of let that even out a little bit. Take my gloves off so I don't get resin all over my pop all those bubbles so we have a nice clear shiny finish. I love to watch the bubbles pop. So soothing. And I'm going to let this sit for 10 or 15 minutes, and then I'm going to come back and torch them again. So in a day or two, I will cut the backs of the drips off of here on the back of the tree and the tile, and then I will put a piece of felt on the back of the Christmas tree and probably on the back of her tile as well. So that's where I'm going to leave you for today. I'll be back in a couple days to show you the finished product, and yeah, that's it. So you'll see me in a second. Alright guys, I'm back again. Hopefully the camera will cooperate for these last 2 minutes of filming. I have finished up the Christmas tree. It has the second round of resin dried on it, and it still has texture to it, which is good, but it's a little safer to touch. I have finished the back with a little piece of leather strap there and some black felt glued to the back just to make it neat, if anybody should want to pull it off the wall. Which hopefully they won't, but you know. And then we haven't finished Ella's yet on the back side, but the resin is set and it still has texture as well. But it's just a pretty tile, and hopefully she'll be happy with it. We'll hang it up or put it out for Christmas, whether it's on an easel or hanging on the wall. She doesn't know yet what she wants to do, so we're just going to let it hang around till she decides. Okay, well, I am sorry for the video being kind of choppy because it wasn't really cooperating. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this project. This was a much more involved project than I really had anticipated. This has taken about a week and a half, you know, with all the curing time of the resin and just little problems here and there. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a pretty little piece. It'll come out at Christmas time, unless somebody would like to purchase it. Of course it is for sale. Ella's is not for sale, but this one definitely is. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. I hope you're all having wonderful holidays and spending some time with your family, and I hope everyone is happy and healthy. And wherever you're on the planet, I hope you're having an awesome afternoon, day, evening, or night. I want to thank all my subscribers, all of my viewers, everyone who has joined us in the last few weeks, few months. We're so happy to have you with us, and yeah, I love you all. Thank you for your support, and next video I promise we're getting back to painting, because I need to paint. You know, after a few resin pieces, I'm really, you know, in the mood to get back to paint. So next piece should be a painting piece. So like I said, wherever you're on the planet, have an awesome afternoon, day, evening, or night. See you later. Bye.